All right, y'all, how is it going? Welcome to another video. Today we're talking what is the best side hustle for a real estate agent. And please do me a big favor and stay till the end. I think I have a take on this that's much different than a lot of people out there or a lot of the videos that you'll watch out there. And I think it's a very important take. So please, again, listen till the end. Fast forward to the end if you want, but I do have hopefully some things of value and hopefully will put you in the right direction about this whole concept. My name is Jesse Lynch. I run 5 of the hardest working real estate teams in the game. I have one in the Twin Cities. I have one in Denver, San Diego, Salt Lake City, and Tennessee. And we are always trying to grow. So if anybody out there is interested in working with me, I've closed, in 3 years, I've closed over 150 transactions just in Minnesota, plus maybe 20 so far combined in the others. And I think I have a different approach to real estate than what a lot of folks out there will have. I think about these things very differently than the average agent and the average probably YouTube channel as a whole. And if any of that sounds appealing to you, sort of a different take on how to crush it in real estate, then do me a favor, subscribe to this channel, click the bell to get notified so you can see when I put these videos out, which I promise I will be putting out a lot of content, a lot of videos in the coming days, months, years. I have a lot of ideas on this and a lot of thoughts, and like this video, I am trying to just press record and keep going and get the thoughts out with as little friction as possible, which is another sort of concept that I really think is important in being prolific as a real estate agent, to reduce friction at all costs. Friction is a killer of momentum, yes? Momentum is everything in business, specifically in real estate. And so if we can reduce the friction, we keep our momentum, it's less hard to push, less hard to keep that momentum going. Alas, eliminate friction at all costs. If you have any interest in working with me, by the way, you can feel free to leave a comment, follow me on Instagram, or shoot me an email at jesse@tothetwincities.com. So obviously this video is about best side hustle for a real estate agent. And if you don't know what a side hustle is, fundamentally it's another job, right? A secondary job. If you don't know what a side hustle is, whoa, crazy. But it's basically a second job or an additional stream of income. And I'm here. I'm cool with the idea of secondary streams of income if they make sense. But I think there's different ways of looking at a side hustle, and I think a lot of the people who maybe are searching this term are brand new real estate agents who are looking for how to get into real estate, right? As a brand new agent, what can I be doing on the side? And I would say that is a different thing than being a real estate agent and picking up side work. So as a brand new real estate agent, I think realistically, real estate is the side hustle. Okay, if you have to have some other job or some other gig to pay your bills, then real estate is your side hustle until you can grow that up to where it can replace the other work, right? Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Most people, maybe not most, well, yeah, probably most people who get into real estate have to have some other gig to keep the lights on, right? And again, that's fine. But just keep in mind that in that situation, real estate is the side hustle. And you should work your ass off on real estate because it's a much better opportunity than whatever other job you're probably doing. So the inverse to that would be you're in real estate, maybe you're getting by, it's making you enough money. Maybe you're in a situation where you don't need to make a certain chunk of money to pay all your bills. Maybe your monthly expenses are actually extremely low. All good. Then you're thinking, well, what else can I do as a side hustle to real estate? So I guess for both of these, I guess really early on, it's whatever you can do. It's Uber, Lyft, whatever, DoorDash, those sort of gig economy things. It's some other job, that is totally unrelated to real estate. Serving, I would argue, is a really, and any sort of hospitality can be a really great asset, especially if you can find one where the hours don't overlap with really common real estate hours, which is fundamentally, your busiest days in real estate will probably be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So if you can find a job that allows you to have those days mostly open, then hopefully that will sort of be allow you to spend all your other days working in real estate. So also, by the way, I have windows open. I'm trying to not say the word so I think I have successfully done that so far in this video, but that is a challenge that I've put upon myself so I can get better at speaking without editing so that these videos can be more compelling. So apologies for the sound, and you're welcome for trying to not say So again, with those side hustles, some of the things that you're gonna need, some of the things that are going to be important is flexibility, right? So that's kind of why those gig-based jobs like an Uber, that really would be probably the ultimate side hustle as you're getting started in real estate, because you can get a call of, hey, can I look at this property? And you can drop whatever ride you have off and then go to that property. So if you had to, not that real estate necessarily actually behaves that way that often, but that immediate flexibility. If you need to hop on a call, that's probably a more common scenario. You need to hop on a call really quickly. It's going to be pretty weird if you have a Uber client in the back seat and you're, talking about details of somebody's financial ambitions or something like that. So that flexibility and the sort of ability for where you get to choose when you are available at relative short notice. And again, other than the gig economy, there's not a whole lot of that available. Maybe a work from home job that could be a good fit as well. Albeit I think a lot of people get burnt out with work from home to where the last thing they want to do is there's another one, is sit down and do the work, right, of a real estate agent. So just be aware of that. Are you going to burn yourself out on relative real estate activities at your side gig? I would argue maybe you drive a lot in real estate, so Uber might burn you out a little bit of driving, but I do believe that it's well worth it. So that's going to be a big one. And also, if there's some kind of, frankly, a lot of people are going to say, oh, you can start your own side business. To which I would argue, why? What are you doing? Maybe a cleaning business, something with relatively low startup costs that you can get paid a lot. But then, honestly, like, if that's what you're going to do, then just build a sick cleaning company. You know what I mean? Like, if there is some opportunity out there that you could just do right now, that would be an amazing side gig to help you get into real estate. If you get that up and running, then just make that a better company to where you don't need real estate, right? I believe real estate is one of the best opportunities available to most people, the most widely available and amazing opportunity, although most people don't succeed in it, but it is there. It's there for the taking. It's relatively easy to get into. I would say something like a cleaning company could be as well. But if you are going all in on a cleaning company, then you might just want to continue to go down that path. There's sort of the idea of how many bridges, if your goal is to get to, financial success or a level of financial comfort, and you're over here on, there's an ocean of effort in between where you are and that financial comfort. How many bridges are you going to build to get to that other side? And could you just continue building one of the same bridges rather than going, starting a cleaning company and then stopping that and starting real estate? I would argue if you're savvy enough, potentially you could start a proper cleaning company and make as good or better money than you would if you were going to restart, or sort of at the same time work as being a real estate agent. So I guess those are, in terms of starting your own company, it just seems like an odd concept to me. I think work some shitty job, right, that you don't want to be doing to pay the bills, and then absolutely bust your ass in real estate to get to where your real estate will allow you to quit the shitty job and you can focus all your effort in real estate rather than trying to simultaneously build two bridges to the other side, right? I hope that makes sense. So with that said, if you are looking for other gigs that are directly related to real estate, these are pretty simple, and I would say most of these, I think it's low-hanging fruit, and I'm not trying to provide much in the way of low-hanging fruit on this channel. I respect you more than that, and I think what I provide is not the low-hanging fruit, I hope. So pretty simple stuff that I think you'll find in blogs and whatever, maybe other videos like this. They're related to real estate, and so they could be, a good side hustle to being a real estate agent, one of which is property management, okay? And so I would say that's both long or short-term property management. In real estate, or in Minnesota anyway, you need a real estate license to be a property manager. So kind of strange. Maybe you could work for a property management company and you could learn a little bit as you go. There might be some value in that to be a little bit more fluent. You also might be able to work for a lender. That might make you a little bit more fluent. You might want to be a home inspector, right? Or work with a home inspector. I think there's a lot of value in being able to say, not necessarily that you are a home inspector or that you were a home inspector, but that you know what you're talking about when it comes to how a home is put together. That's something that I pride myself on. That's something that is very important to me as it relates to my team, for them to have an understanding of what's important on a house, what's expensive. Fundamentally, what will an inspector be looking for? That way, more than anything, we can save our clients some headache. So if you could become an inspector, okay, that's not too bad. That's not a terrible side hustle. That said, it's going to take a lot of your time and a lot of your energy, and at the end of the day, mostly, you're not going to go want to do real estate. So just be aware of that. It might be a good education before real estate, but it's going to be hard to do them simultaneously. Real estate photography, real estate videography, sure, that would be potentially a good way. There's actually a company, there's another dang it. There's actually a company based in the Twin Cities that does a great job with photos. I'm not going to shout them out yet because I don't know, no unnecessary sponsor at this point. So they were real estate agents and they started this photography company. But frankly, what happened is that photography company took off. They are no longer real estate agents because that thing did better, right? So maybe having the connection of being a licensed real estate agent and being in a brokerage would actually be a good way to build your photography company. But in that particular situation, the long tail of that of their efforts actually just led them into running a very successful photography company. So again, be aware of that. I'm a big believer in video as a real estate agent. So I think that could be one of the most valuable assets that somebody could possess as a real estate agent, is an understanding of video. But one of the things is you got to get good on camera. You have to be comfortable in front of the camera. And if you're only focusing on shooting a home from behind the camera, then there still will be a pretty steep learning curve for how to be in front of the camera. So just things to be aware of as far as that goes. Another gig or another side hustle could be a home staging, right? There are plenty of folks who do that, and sometimes you can just make a little bit of extra money consulting on home staging, right? But there are also home stagers who have whole warehouses of furniture. So is that really, is that something you want to do? Is that really an affordable and easy to enter side hustle? I would argue that it is not. I would argue that that's a lot of money to spend up front to hopefully make that money back. So if you could be a home staging consultant, cool. And if you can maybe rent all of your stuff, if you have connections to something where you could rent something, cool. If you maybe have like a leg into that world, then that might be an awesome scenario, right? So, but I do think realistically, that's a pretty big mountain to climb as well. So it's not exactly like a great entry level side hustle, right? So I think kind of two others that are somewhat connected. One would just be, and honestly I find this one a little crazy, but like it'd be like content creation for other real estate agents, or blogging, or making marketing materials for other realtors, which I gotta say, if you're in a position where you need I don't know why this one makes me feel kind of crazy, but if you're in a position where you need a side hustle, and that side hustle is providing marketing for other agents, either your marketing doesn't work, or you're absolutely out of your mind to not just be using that for yourself, right? If you happen to find that your version of marketing is extremely effective, but you can just sort of franchise it out or give it to other agents, which is actually something that I do with sort of my expansion teams. It's pretty similar to that. Then I would say, well, that's a great side hustle. That's sort of using your systems to expand, but it's not really a side hustle. I don't think of that as a side hustle at all, right? That is part of the same business fundamentally. And then the other part would be sort of real estate coaching, real estate consulting, which maybe you're an agent who's done this for a long time. You're in the twilight of your careers. You're sick of showing houses. Okay, I could see that. That could work. But if you're brand new to real estate, that's not it. You know what I mean? Like you are not in a place to do that. I do think on the marketing side of things, if you think that you would be great at marketing, but maybe you don't think you have the funds with which to market, then maybe you could work for another agent or team and do that. But I would also argue that there's very effective ways of marketing that don't cost you that much money. So, yeah, let's not pretend like a new agent is just going to come in and start coaching or consulting, right? That's literally not going to happen. And also, I think very few people would be watching a video about best side hustle who are already doing very, very well in real estate, who already have phenomenal marketing systems or something like that, right? But maybe you are watching this. Maybe you just think I just provide such an immense amount of value that you're like, oh, let me just watch everything Jesse does. Actually, I literally am quite certain that's not the case. So, but if you are in a place where you know that you can acquire new customers, you know that you can get new attention for people, okay, then consider expanding that to other people. I think there is some real value there. As long as you can provide that value, and as long as the clients and sort of the marketing that you're doing for people will actually work, then I would say, cool, that's a very good idea. Just expand that outward. But this ultimately, at the end of the day, I think that's a pretty good summation of most of the side hustles that a realtor could do. There's like an appraiser, but frankly, you can't really be an appraiser on the same property you're a realtor on, so I think that could get pretty messy, and I don't know, I just don't like it. So there are all sorts of services that apply to a home you could work in, I suppose. You could be a storm chaser roof repair person, right? Sort of looking for clients that way, and potentially you could also be pitching them, hey, would you be interested in selling your house? I'm also a realtor. But I do think it gets into a tricky territory there where, well, why are you my roof guy? If you're a realtor with whom I should work, why are you my roof guy, right? I think that's a fair question. If somebody came to your house to clean it, this is such an absurd comparison. If somebody came to your house to clean it and they said, wow, I noticed that you're getting a divorce. I am a divorce attorney. Can I help you with that process? I think you'd be like, why are you my cleaning person, right? Okay, point taken. Okay, I think what this ultimately boils down to, and to me what the most important takeaway from this whole video should be, this is truly what I believe at my core, in my heart of hearts, is that if you are a real estate agent, you're already licensed, you're already with a brokerage, you're already trying to get clients, maybe you already have clients, maybe you're already making money off of real estate, there is no better side hustle for real estate than just doing more real estate, than absolutely crushing your real estate marketing. Every single moment that you're not actively helping a client or sleeping, I guess, you should be trying to find new clients. That is the job. I do not care what anybody else tells you. Client acquisition is the job. That is the job before your fiduciary duties. Okay? Obviously, once you have a client, fiduciary duties, North Star, right? And sort of your reputation is also in line with that North Star. But your fiduciary duties don't matter if you don't have a client, right? You can't be giving a client any of the fiduciary duties, honesty, loyalty, obedience. You don't have to give that if you don't have a client. So step number one in real estate is go get a client. And I truly believe every single moment that you are not with a client, whether you've never helped a client or whether you're just in between clients, every single moment of your day should be spent trying to find a new client. Understand? I hope so. I appreciate you watching this. As always, if you want to work with me, shoot me an email at jesse@tothetwincities.com, or leave a comment here. Follow me on Instagram at @IamJesseLynch. Subscribe to this channel. Click the bell to get notified. I apologize for the ambient noise, but alas, I'm in the city. It's warm out. I have the windows open. It's a beautiful spring day, and honestly, I'm not even a little bit mad about it. I hope it maybe provided some ambience, and there were no sirens, so what are you gonna do? All right, see ya.